Well, hello, everybody. Today, we're so excited to have a co-webinar with somebody that is a new partner to eClass for Learning. That is Course Merchant. And I'm titling this an enterprise e-commerce system. eClass for Learning has worked with other e-commerce systems, but this one really is enterprise. And so we're so excited to add this as an offering to our clients. And at the end, maybe I'll talk about why we like Course Merchant versus maybe some of the other solutions that we have tried in the past. So that's our topic for today. My name is Dr. Tammy Frame. I'm the CEO of eClass for Learning. If you're watching this later, this is how you can contact us with any questions, or if you wanted a private demo, we'd be happy to do that too. Our two co-presenters today, I'll let them introduce themselves, are John Ellis and Martin. So do you want to say a little bit about yourselves and what you do at Course Merchant?
Absolutely. Thank you, Tammy. My name is John. I'm the account manager at Course Merchant, and I sort of do a lot of our own webinars and presentations and so on. And with me today, I've got Martin Broughton, who's our sales director. And Martin, I'll let you take the reins.
Excellent, thanks, John. Hi all. Martin Broughton, as John said, sales director here at Course Merchant. I've been with the company approaching 8 years, but been involved in education and e-learning for a lot longer than that. So and I'm back to you, John, to run the show.
Okay, awesome. Just a little bit about eClass for Learning and how Course Merchant fits in. We are an end-to-end full solution e-learning provider. And so we do a lot of services. We can help with LMS solutions, course development, onboarding and support, reporting and analytics, and e-commerce. And the e-commerce solution of Course Merchant works with all of the LMSs that we support and seamlessly integrate. I'm sure we'll get more into that today. We do hosting, systems integration, and customizations. So if you want to talk about any of these suite of tools, we can integrate all of them and make it one seamless experience for you. And that's why we like Course Merchant, because it plugs and plays so well with our other products and services. All right, today we are using Zoom, so feel free to put in any questions or answers that you would like. If you are unable to come live today, we would still love to hear your feedback and questions or answers, or if you're watching this on YouTube. So feel free, at the end we'll have contact information again to contact any of us, and we'd be happy to help. All right, with that, I'm going to stop sharing, and John, you're welcome to take over.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much, Tammy. So what I'm going to do at this point here is I'm just going to share my screen. And away we go. So yes, thank you once again, Tammy. Course Merchant is effectively an e-commerce platform, public-facing catalog, which allows you to monetize your e-learning content, essentially. My name is John Ellis, and I'm the account manager, as I said before, for Course Merchant. And we're just going to go on to the slide here. So we were established in 2008, actually, but 2009 is when we made our first Course Merchant sale. We are ISO 27001 and very recently ISO 27017 accredited. We have hundreds of clients all around the globe, varying from where we're based right now in the UK, and also across Europe, and also into North America, Canada, and as far afield as the likes of Singapore and Australia as well. And we have hundreds of millions of dollars of course sales going through our various different catalogs across all of our clients. So here's just a brief map, as I say, just where a few of our clients are based, all the way down to Argentina, Australia, Far East, etc. So we really are truly a global company, even though we're just based here in the UK. And what we actually build out for you is a fully responsive course catalog, public-facing catalog, which is responsive to mobile and tablet, etc. As more and more people obviously move that way for browsing the internet. And here are just here's a short number of clients that we have, from the likes of your corporates across to other areas of learning as well. So without further ado, I'm just going to end the slide deck there and take you through a brief demo, just where I'll go through a few design examples, just to show you some examples of what's possible with Course Merchant. And then we'll get into the whole actual purchase flow and then reporting capabilities and so on. So this here that you're seeing on screen here is Loyola University, and this is their extended learning community. And everything that you're seeing on the screen right now is Course Merchant. So this entire catalog experience is powered by Course Merchant, which is effectively, if you think of it as a micro CMS. So here we have the YouTube video embedded and some nice modern graphics. Scrolling down, we have featured courses, which you can showcase if they're sort of, brand new things which you want to get people interested in. And I can browse this way, or alternatively, I can drill down into the course topics here at the bottom, which is what I'm going to do. And this is a category page, as we call it on Course Merchant. So at the top here, you can see I can search by course name or keyword, or I can scroll down a bit further and browse through the 11 plus pages that we have of everything from artificial intelligence to blockchain to all sorts of things. But over here on the left, I can actually drill down further into the areas of interest which are relevant to me. So I'm going to take a look at technology, for example, and then drill down further into the child category of cybersecurity. So I'm going to come down into here, and I'm now in the cybersecurity and CISSP category here. So the number of pages I've got has been cut down significantly, and these are all the course offerings which are housed within this category. So that's the way which we at Course Merchant structure these micro sites. So I can take a look at some information about this fundamentals course. Here's a brief description. And this is all, if you think of it in terms of, this is your marketing material for your course offerings. So if you think of it as a, why should I be applying to this course with yourself? Or why should I not go elsewhere, and so on? So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this fundamentals course, for example, and then I have a bit more information about what I'm going to be learning. So here's a description of the course. Here are some outcomes, and you could have as much or as little information on this page as you want. And we at Course Merchant work very consultatively with you to achieve the feel which you're trying to get. And one thing which I haven't mentioned is that all of this you're seeing on screen here is not only built in Course Merchant, but it's design matched to Loyola University's main site. So from my perspective as a client of yours or a student of yours, it's a very seamless user experience from I'm browsing the catalog, I find what I'm interested in, I'm going to go ahead and pay whatever the cost is to enroll onto that course, and then I'm going to go ahead and take that course within your chosen LMS. So so here, this is description, learning outcomes, and so on. And here's the price, and then I can add this to the cart and then go on that normal sort of e-commerce experience, which most people are pretty used to in 2021. So I can go back to the store and add things to the cart. I can redeem a coupon code or a voucher code. I'm going to go back and continue shopping. And I'm actually going to go back to this category page here and take a look at this cybersecurity product. Now, the reason which the reason for why we refer to these as products is because you can either link it to a single course, such as this one which we just added to the cart, this fundamentals course, or I can put together what we call a bundle of courses. So you've updated the description here to say that this is a bundle of courses. And by purchasing this one product, I'm actually going to enroll myself into all of these courses directly within the LMS with a single product. So that's a nice way of packaging up courses into bundles, if you so wish. You don't have to use it, but a lot of our clients do, and they have quite a lot of success with it. So that's one design example and a sort of general overview of how Course Merchant is structured and how the websites work. Another design example is these guys here. This is IP3, and these guys utilize the idea of sessions. So with Course Merchant, you are able to offer your asynchronous online course offerings, but you can also incorporate things such as online webinars or workshops or anything like that if you wanted, with the idea of sessions. So if I scroll down here, and you'll see that this all looks and feels very different to Loyola, because this is branded for IP3. And I'm going to take a look at the information of this F11 course here. So I hit more info. Oh.
John, can I interrupt you? There is a question that one of our, and I think maybe Martin was writing. Oh, he just wrote an answer. Okay.
I've just answered, sorry.
Okay, sorry about that. All right. Great. Okay, well, we can keep going. I just wanted to make sure that the question was answered. Thanks.
No, that's fine. No problem at all. So yeah, with SSO stuff, we'll get into that a bit more in depth in a moment, but we link in directly with the LMS account. But if you have something like an Azure or a custom SSO, we have worked with custom SSO things in the past. So that is something we're able to do. So coming back here to this F11 course at IP3, if I just scroll down a bit further, you'll see here that we've got a lot of the same type of information as we had on the previous example. So we have a description of the course. Here are the outcomes. These guys also include who's going to be benefiting, and they've got a brochure which is hosted externally from Course Merchant as well. And this all here that you're seeing on screen at the moment is what we refer to as a front-end product. So what I mean by that is it's all the standard marketing material which we said about before. So this information never changes. It's this is the name of the course, and this is what the course is. However, what does change, if you did want to do things such as the workshops or the webinars, as I say, is the dates and times and locations, if relevant, of these courses. So if I come down a bit further, you can see here that we've got available sessions linked to this front-end product. So here, this is a webinar, a live webinar meeting. So I can enroll myself into the November sessions, or I can enroll myself into the May 2022 sessions. So whatever suits me best. And it's just another way of really showcasing the times and dates available for this course. If it's not a asynchronous, sign up whenever you like and take it, at your own pace type of course. So those two examples are pretty standard in terms of the look and feel and the capabilities of Course Merchant. However, as we sort of referenced before, we are quite receptive to a bit of custom work as well, if needed. As I say, we will work with you to achieve the look and the feel and the requirements which you have. These guys here is McGill University, and this is their second Course Merchant store. This is their Executive Institute. They also have a store for their nursing as well. But this one here offers a lot more information than what we've looked at previously. And the way that they showcase all of that, as I say, is quite nice. So if I come onto this course here, this accounting and finance course, we have a nice big call to action, register now button, and another externally hosted brochure link here. And then same type of information as before initially. So overview, benefits and takeaways. And then they also have a lot more information about the topics which are covered in the course, and they're viewable just by these expandable windows. So I can expand or minimize these as I wish. So it's a really neat way of sort of demonstrating a lot of a lot of information, but within a fairly short page, providing you minimize them, obviously.
And
And then,
John, I'm sorry to interrupt again. We have another question, and it's a good one because I don't know the answer.
okey-doke.
Yeah, does the users have the capability to set the time zone to ensure the correct time for events and webinars?
So it depends really how you want to display that information. So the capability to set the time zone. So all of the things which you're seeing on page, so all of this is built out in the CMS, as I said before, and it's all WYSIWYG editors. So you could sort of write in whatever timeframes you wanted, and time zones you wanted for that. So that would be quite a straightforward thing to do.
Okay, and then like, for example, on the one that you're showing, they have a calendar. I'm guessing that you could maybe get the calendar details to you. Is that correct?
So that's just a little
icon.
Okay. Yeah. But they just have a list here of these sessions which are available. So it's just an icon to show you the date and the time. So when it comes to views, what we find most people will want is they'll find what they're interested in first and then find when it's available. And what you can also do in Course Merchant, which we haven't covered, is you have the concept of inventory. So you could have a set number of seats which are available for a webinar or event, for example. And then once that's all sold out, a waiting list can kick in. And I, as a prospective student, can actually register my interest into that waiting list. And then in the administration area, which you guys get access to, you get a notification of my interest, and you can reach out to me at that point and say, "Hi, John, this course isn't available right now, but it's available in 4 weeks' time or something." Or alternatively, you can link me something else which I may be interested in. So you haven't lost my interest just because it wasn't available at the time that I happened to be on your website. Yeah, that's a nice feature, which I would suggest is probably worth exploring with events and webinars and things like that.
Great, thank you.
No problem. Yeah, I was just about to say these guys also have biographies of the leaders, taking the course or teaching the course, should I say. And they also have sessions a little bit like IP3 at the bottom here. And it all really depends about the reason I show you a few different examples of the amount of information you can showcase is it really is up to, the client. So, Tammy, your clients and our clients mutually, how much information you want to showcase up front. And we'll work very closely with you to make sure that, that the correct and appropriate look and feel is achieved. So we build everything initially in a staging instance, which you get full, complete access to. And we don't go live until you're happy. So once, we've added in all of the various different courses and products and bundles and, all of the bits of information you want and, YouTube videos or whatever it may be, once you're happy, we then sign it off. And at that point, it goes live. We don't go live until you're happy. So, that's just another sort of design example there. And the final one we tend to show, just because it's extremely custom and just to show you sort of a little bit of what's possible with Course Merchant, is these guys. This is Athabasca University, and this is their Power Ed department. And so I mentioned before, earlier on in the call, that we do a design match to an existing website to get that look and feel. So our implementation and design team will pull out the HTML, the CSS, the colors, fonts, etc., to achieve that look and feel. But when these guys approached us, they didn't have anything for us to reference. It's a brand new concept for them. So what we did instead, as a sort of custom site is put together this entire website in Course Merchant from the ground up. So scrolling down, I can see here, this is actually quite new because we do show this website quite a bit. So this is some sort of featured product which is available, and I can learn more about that. And coming further down, they've got their courses, which I'll go into in just a moment, but they've also got information about what certificates they offer and the other services. Coming further down, we have why choose them and so on and so forth. And then we get onto partners and collaborators and contact forms and so on. But the reason that we show these guys quite frequently in examples is not only because we're extremely pleased with how the website looks and feels with a nice modern twist, is if I take a look at the courses area and take a look at the leading self course in this leadership category, you can see that like McGill, we have a lot of information. At the top here, we have a nice big hero image and another call to action button. But then I've got a very lengthy description page, and that's very deliberately done for the look and feel which they wanted. So here's an overview of a course. Here's how it works. If there's more information, here's another externally hosted brochure. Is the course a part of a bundle? What am I going to be learning? Who are the leaders delivering the course? Who's going to benefit, etc. So you can see it's a very different look and feel to the other three examples which we've shown, and they're all quite different from one another. But it's really just to showcase really how flexible Course Merchant is with regard to design. So we very much will, as I say, once again, work collaboratively with you to achieve that look and feel which you're after. So at this point, I'll just go ahead and load up our Totra demo store, which isn't quite as glamorous as the examples I've shown, but I'll just give it a brief couple of moments to see if there are any questions in the chat or anything like that, which we want to cover.
No questions in the chat right now.
No problem. Is there anything you wanted to add, Tammy?
There are a few things. I think one key thing that you'll probably get into that I think is key when looking at other e-commerce is, and it's hard to explain, but the Course Merchant actually is inside of Totora. And so you're only dealing with one database. And I think that's important because other systems that have two databases with single sign-on between them and pushing it to the LMS have a lot more problems, I would say. I don't know if you want to speak to that at all, but that makes it a lot more seamless. And your database is your database, and your users start, end, and always are in the LMS.
Sure thing. No, absolutely. So Course Merchant as a solution, we don't have our own user database. The account, as Tammy just said, is it's the one account, and it's the LMS's account. So what I will actually do in just one moment is create an account, and what will happen is it will create that account directly within Totora. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I can scroll down and take a look at these categories here, and I'm going to view courses of health and safety. Here are some examples. As I say, a lot of lorem ipsum text with it being a demo store. And this is an example of the sessions which are available. So I'm going to go ahead and enroll myself onto this face-to-face on-campus course, and it's £1,000. So I'm going to redeem a voucher code. As I said before, there's an awful lot of flexibility with voucher codes, and you can create as many as you wish. With voucher codes, you have single use, multiple use, or unlimited use. You can constrain voucher codes to a particular product in your store or a category of the store, or you can leave it store wide if you want. You can create a voucher code to discount by a fixed amount or a percentage. You can even do really smart things such as bulk uploading them via CSV or making them not work unless there's a minimum value in the cart. There's an awful lot of flexibility, and that's just one of the discounting mechanisms of Course Merchant. So that's voucher codes. We're going to go ahead and hit checkout. And at this point, I'm taken to the login or create account screen. So I'm going to create a new account. And as I said before, I'm going to create an account directly within Brightspace. So I'm going to go ahead and be BOP, for example. No idea where we get these names from. Been watching a bit of Dragon's Den, apparently. So all of these fields that you're seeing here are customizable. The minimum requirement we need is first name, last name, and email address, and that is reliant on the on the LMS. That's the minimum requirement to create an account in Totra. I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite my password here, and Martin's answering that question from Joe, so thank you, Martin. I'm going to go, there we go. So let's jot in an email address here. .com. There we go. And as I say, these fields here, like company name, address, etc., are all custom. You can modify these as you wish. So if you need to collect information such as a cell number, an occupation, date of birth, anything like that, you can include that on this contact details form here. So I'm going to create my account and cross my fingers very tightly that I type the password the same twice, because I often don't do that. There we are. So we are now logged in. So we've created an account. The account has been created in Totra, but I haven't been enrolled yet because I haven't actually paid you any money. Now, the eagle-eyed ones of you may have noticed is that we have also been applied an additional discount of 50% here. And what the store has done is it's looked at my email domain of @coursemerchant.com and realized, oh, hold on, you're eligible for a discount. So that ties in loosely with your question, Joe. It's a little bit custom to change it to stuff from an SSO to rather than email domain, but I'm sure Martin's probably halfway through writing a far more expansive answer. So hopefully that answers that for you. And what it will do is this discount here, we can modify or disable entirely on a product by product basis if you want. So say, for example, that you just bought out a brand new course and you only wanted to offer a 10% discount rather than 50, you can absolutely do that, or you can turn it off altogether. That's no problem at all. Coming further down, we'll have more my invoice details here, which I can check are correct. And in this case, they are. And then I have a few options at the bottom. So I need to agree to the terms and conditions of sale. They are your terms and conditions, not Course Merchants and not eClass for Learning's. That link here can link out to your existing site if you already have your T's and C's uploaded, or we will happily build out a category page if you prefer. And I also have this option here of buying this course on behalf of someone else. So if I was buying this on behalf of Tammy, for example, I can tick that box and then I can actually allocate that seat or license to Tammy to go ahead and log into Totra, where it will have created her account and she can go ahead and take the course. But I'm going to leave that off just for the moment and enroll myself. Now, the payment options, just to cover something very briefly, free won't be there on your store. We do have a free model in Course Merchant whereby it bypasses the cart and the checkout page, but that's worked slightly differently. So don't worry about that. I can cover that in just one moment. And that's what a lot of our clients do for self-reg stuff. If they have a mix of requirements regarding they want self-reg and e-commerce, then you can do that with Course Merchant. This option here of pay by invoice is what we refer to as our delayed enrollment option. So this is just a free text field. We can modify that to say pay by invoice, cash, check, Venmo, etc. What will happen is by choosing that option and hitting proceed, is it will delay my enrollment until you, the administrator of the store, approve my order in the admin area. So that's a great way of, selling if you want high ticket items on your store and you want to allow people to pay by an invoice, or again, like the member discount, you can turn it off on a product by product basis to mean that if you've got a product which is, say, $15, $20, you can disable it. But if you've got something which is, $1,000, you can enable it on that. So that's a nice offering which is available. This pay by credit card option here is what I'm going to do for this purchase. And I'm just going to copy this card number here. Now, the way that credit card and debit cards work with Course Merchant is we have integrations into about 45, 46 different payment gateways now. And we will generally take a look if you have a requirement for a payment gateway, which we don't have an integration built into already. But we will hook into your account with your payment gateway. So you'll take out an account with, let's say, a Stripe, a 2Checkout, a Moneris, an authorized.net, whoever it may be. And we will hook into that. So the payments go directly to yourself. They're not housed by Course Merchant or anything like that. Our only stipulation when it comes to payment gateways is we only work with the hosted version. Okay. And the reason for that is for PCI compliance, because neither you nor we want to store credit card information. So this is the way it works. We choose pay by credit card and hit proceed. The store will then go out to the secure area. And we have just recently done some work where we can make this look really nice and neat in an iframe within the same page and so on, but it's still a secure environment. Here, I'm going to enter in the security number and the expiry date, hit pay. And then once that payment goes through, and this is a test payment gateway and it normally works pretty well. There we are. So we now come back to Course Merchant and we're done. So the only information which we get back, and I say we, the only information which Course Merchant gets back from the payment gateway is this payment reference here. So this is what the finance, person responsible for finance would reconcile between your payment gateway account and Course Merchant. And we also get a success token. Basically, the gateway says, yes, the payment was taken successfully. All this information that you're seeing here is emailed to the purchaser, and you can get a BCC of this information as well. So you can keep a track of all the orders going through to a shared, orders at mailbox, for example. But the thing that we're looking for is this big bright green button here saying click here to access your training. I click the button and then I'm pulled straight through into Totara, and there is the course which I've just purchased. So I've gone through that journey of I've browsed the catalog, I've found what's relevant to me, I've then added to the basket and purchased, I've then paid, and now I'm enrolled and I can learn. So that's the way the purchase flow works from a B2C sort of example. So any questions from anyone? And of course, Tammy, if you have anything you want to add or ask, please feel free.
Okay. I do have one clarification. So this was done on like a Totara front page, but the other examples were like a subdomain of their website, correct?
Yes, yes. So this is the Totara staging site, but the subdomain or CNAME that we have the website on. So this is powered.athabasca.ca. This is store.executivemcgill, courses.ip3, for example. So we host on a CNAME, and you can have that to be whatever you want. A lot of our clients have learn.their site or courses.etc. So yeah, that's the way it's hosted externally from the LMS. And obviously you want to keep all your LMS stuff within your LMS because that's what you're selling effectively. You want that to be gated. This is your public facing catalog.
Yeah, and it looks so nice when it's so seamless with the website. Very nice. Yeah, and I think next, are you going to address reporting at all?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where
That's where we're going next. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, although just before I do that, I'll make a couple of alternative purchases just to show you some different models.
Oh, great.
So that example, which I just showed you right there, is an example of I'm a prospective student, you know, I want to do a bit of continuing ed, for example, of that was health and safety. But what if, you know, I'm a training manager and I've got team members that I want to do some health and safety training, or maybe even there's some free offerings or things like that. So that's what we're just going to very briefly take a look at. If I just come back into this health and safety area here, just for brevity, and I believe if I come back onto this workplace here, there we are. So here, this is available sessions. This is the same things we purchased before, but this is the different backend products which are available. This is a view anytime recorded webinar, so much like what we're doing right now. There's no price attributed to it. So this is that free model I mentioned before. So you can see here, I know it's marked as free in the admin area because it says enroll free on the button, and there's no price here. And the way it works with Course Merchant, as I said before, is it's a very, very quick, seamless flow. Because when you're offering a free module or webinar in this case, or, you know, a taster session or something like that, you don't need to go through a whole cart and a checkout and everything else. So to keep it nice and simple, we've done this. And I am logged in. You can see here it says student log out as an option. So the flow is a bit quicker, whereas if I had to log in, but I'll stay logged in for now. I could have browsed this, viewing time, recorded webinar. Yep, that's for me. I hit enroll, and then I'm immediately taken through to the exit screen. So there's no cart, checkout page or anything like that. I can literally click there and then access my recorded webinar. So that's a really great way of offering a blend of self-registration with e-commerce. That's, you know, another way of using Course Merchant in that way. And then we've got the B2B model type. So me being a training manager or a line manager or HR, something like that, I'm going to go ahead into engage and deliver, for example. And in fact, actually what I'll probably do, just have a look. Is it this one here? Yes, there we are. So this is again, just lorem ipsum description sort of examples. Here we have a mix of inventory. So we have 10 seats available. So that will count down, and once it gets to 0, a waiting list kicks in. And we also have enabled on this product multi-seat discounting. So here you can see price is $50, but if I buy 5 or more or 10 or more, it's a reduced rate. And I have a quantity box. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase 5 of this product here and hit enroll. And what it will do now is take me to the cart. I've got my membership discount still enabled there. I can redeem the voucher code just the same as before, $225, excellent. I go to the checkout, and then it's exactly the same flow as before. So I'm taken to this page where I can check my invoice details and so on. And I agree to the T's and C's again, obviously. The box where it said, are you purchasing this on behalf of somebody else, has been removed because the store knows that's what you're doing because you're buying 5 of the same thing. And I'm going to put through a free transaction just for quickness. So once we've done the payment options, we come through, same flow as before, exit screen. The only thing which is different is it says here, click here to manage your licenses. So in this case, I click the button and I don't go into Totara. Instead, what happens is I stay in Course Merchant, and now I have 5 licenses or seats to allocate to my team. So I can click here to add students. This is our basic version of managed licenses, and I'll explain what that means in just a moment. But let's enroll Martin Johnson. Holding down the shift key a smidge too long. There we go. So I enter the first name, enter the last name, and then I enter Martin's email address. And then I hit enroll. The store will look into Totara to see if that account already exists, and it doesn't. So in which case it creates that account for Martin. My licenses remaining has gone down to 4, and the student has been enrolled. And what's happened is Martin has now got an email saying, hi, Martin, you've been given access to a course. Click here to log in and take your course. And then he can log in and update his password and so on and get on with that. So that's our simple option. This works really, really great if you're selling 5, 10, maybe 20 seats at a push at a time. But if you have a model whereby you're selling 50 or 100 or 200 seats at a time, this model probably isn't the most user-friendly, entering them one at a time. So what we have as an option available is our advanced system, whereby you create a list and you can update a list of students via a CSV file, or you can enter in line data separated by a comma, and then mass email that entire list of students to say, hi guys, you've been given access to a course, click here, just the same as before with this one. And the final option, if you want to collect more additional information, such as cell number, address, occupation, or if you have an SSO, an external SSO requirement, such as Joe mentioned before, we have our tokenization option. And what will happen with that option is you'll send an email to the student saying, hi, Martin, for example, you were given access to a course, click here to redeem your token. And by clicking the link, that then takes you back to the full registration screen and you create your own account. So that's the third and final option for managed licenses. So it's a really great way of, selling multiple seats at a time. A lot of built-in LMS e-commerce systems don't have such a feature. So that's one of the key things which separates us from, the built-in offerings of a lot of systems. But any questions before I do, as you said before, Tammy, go on to the reporting and so on and so forth?
I don't have any. This has been really helpful.
Marvelous. Well, thank you very much. Okie doke. So any questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat and Martin or I will address them as we can. So moving on to the administration area of Course Merchant, this is the admin area. So every single store which we build gets access to this administration area, and you guys get access to this. So as I mentioned before, we build out the store for you in the first instance, and you get this access to add as many categories and products as you wish. The only thing we don't give complete access to is the raw template files. Only reason being is that we used to many years ago. But then what we find is, what we found rather, is that a lot of people who believe themselves to be web designers actually weren't web designers. So that created a few hurdles. But from that point onwards, we decided we'll lock them down. And if you have any requirements whatsoever to update a logo in a header or a footer, or change a social media button or link or something like that, or to update some few small tweaks, then drop an email into support@coursemerchant.com, and the team are more than happy to help out with regard to that. And by and large, the vast majority of queries are covered very quickly. So the main two areas for yourselves really are this e-store area, which is where you create your categories and your products and voucher codes and so on, and then the reporting area. Now, I won't bore everybody by going into the products and so on, because it's just essentially WYSIWYG editors and a content management system, as I said before. The reporting area is where we want to dig into a bit further here. So we're going to head into the orders area here, and you can see that this is all of the orders which has gone through the store over from the day dot. And I can filter out this information by date range, or by keywords or voucher codes which have been used, or the status of the order. So for example, if I wanted to see who is waiting for an invoice, I can hit pending invoice, hit view orders, and there's nobody. Brilliant. So our finance team are doing a great job and getting the invoices out nice and quickly. But I'm going to go back to all orders here just to show absolutely everything. So you can see here we've got who's purchased, how much it was, how many seats, what the status is. So this one's been refunded, for example. But once I've found all the information which I'm interested in, and I've filtered out what I want and displayed, up to 100 on a page, I can select all this information here and actually export this as a CSV file. And I can then do with that, obviously, what I wish, whether it's exporting it into your own system or manipulating it to make a custom report. You can do all that as absolutely standard with Course Merchant. So we've got the order number here, the voucher code which has been used, how they paid, what the payment reference is, etc. And across here, we've got their account info, which they entered in at the create accounts screen. So that's a very, pretty straightforward and standard way of reporting with Course Merchant. But we also give is the reporting layer. Now, this was born out of many requests for our clients coming to us and saying, the CSV file is great. Actually, I would like a more comprehensive reporting system, something a bit more flexible, which means I don't have to edit CSV files all the time. So this reporting layer here essentially creates a CRM entry for each person who's made a purchase or enrolled people onto a course and so on. And what I mean by that is here we've created the Theo Paphitis information here. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Theo's contact record here. So here's his details, which we captured in Course Merchant. And as I come down, there's where it came from, Totara. And then coming further down, here's his course sale information. So I can take a look at what he's been purchasing. These two are free. This is the net banks here. So that was the credit card payment, and he used a voucher code on that one. And I can dig a bit deeper if I wish. I can come further into this purchase record, come further down, and I can actually tell just at a glance that this one has licenses. So this is that multi-seat option which we purchased when we purchased 5 seats. And if I come further down, I can actually tell, the queue has run. So I can then tell that Theo, after purchasing 5 seats on this course, has enrolled Martin onto this emergency first aid course. So that's a really great way of seeing at a glance, what's, where these seats have been allocated to and where these users have come from. But the real power of this system comes in the reporting area. So this learning area here is what we've built out. And if I take a look at reports, you can see you can build a huge number of custom reports. And again, much like the actual store itself, if you have a requirement for, a sales report, an order list report, financial reports, we can build all these out for you initially. But then, of course, you're given complete access to this area and you can create as many as you wish. So if I take a look at this financial report here, you can see I've got a date range, when it was last modified and so on. And here's the information which I'm after, because I'm looking at the December purchases. And I can schedule this to be emailed to me on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis if I want. So that really reduces the amount of manual load you're having to do with editing CSV files and creating graphs in Excel and so on. I can immediately get this information emailed to me, and at a glance, it's automatically there. And I can modify these, modify these by just module trees. And you can see here is course sale, invoice name. I can remove or add whatever fields I'm interested in to my heart's content. So that's a very straightforward way of building the reports. So that at a high level is Course Merchant and the reporting capabilities and so on. I see that Joe has asked a question on reporting on discounts given by a company in a period. Martin, if you want to take your answer away, feel free.
Excellent, thank you. Yeah, I think on that one, yes, it should be. If the data is in the system, if it's derived from Course Merchant, from the sale, obviously we need to look at if there's an SSO system involved, how we capture that data. But yeah, we'll have to sort of work through on that one. But if it's being reported on that sales data, then yeah, we should be able to sort of then build a report around that company name on that side. So yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
Thank you, Martin. Okay, so that really, as I said before, is an extremely high level sort of overview of Course Merchant. And if you have any more queries, then feel free to reach out to either myself or Tammy, and we'll do our best to help you guys out. Tammy, back over to you.
Okay, I just have a few final things to say. We just moved one of our clients over to Course Merchant, and I shouldn't say we, really, Course Merchant did the work, but some of the feedback from the client was, and us being involved in watching, is the onboarding was very, very seamless, and that's what we strive for with our LMS implementation. So that made it a really good partnership, because that's what our clients expect. And it was real seamless. I like what you said in the webinar about your willingness to customize, and you work as consultants sort of with the clients. And that was very much the experience. And they got not a one size fits all, but exactly the way that they wanted it to work. So that was really cool. Just another thing about how the whole implementation worked is we set up a test site with them, and all of the work was done there until they were ready to go live. And that was kind of neat, because you could see everything, you could test it all out. And like you said, when we were ready to go live. And so that was part of how it was so seamless. Yeah. So those are some of my comments of what the experience was end to end. Yeah, great. Well, if there aren't any more questions, thank you for coming today. Thank you for those that signed up and weren't able to come live or are seeing it on our YouTube channel. We would be happy to answer any questions or do a customized demo around your use case if needed. And I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks, Martin and John, so much. It was nice to see real case examples. I think that really brought it alive. Yeah.
You're extremely welcome. Anytime.
All right. Well, I will be, for those of you that signed up, you should receive a recording link to at latest tomorrow, maybe even yet today. And again, contact us with any questions you have. Have a great rest of the day. All right. Bye-bye.